So in this video, we will be talking about our whole green card interview experience and all the preparations that we did for this interview. So let's talk about it. So my name is Iconic and
my name is Rodney. Welcome to the channel. So here we go. Iconic is gonna be doing the breakdown. I'll mostly be sitting here on the side with a smile on my face and not in my head like this because mostly everything was geared towards Iconic, and even during the interview, they really didn't chime and ask me anything. I didn't really have to chime in for nothing. So it's all Iconic, so I let her take over this.
So after waiting for a whole year, we finally got our letter of notice for the interview schedule, and we were very excited to get that one. You don't know how excited I was.
Definitely during COVID, we didn't know when we were going to get it because we started the process right before COVID hit, and then we're like, it probably never will come. It just seemed like everything was delayed. So. And
then all of a sudden, boom, it came. So the first thing we did was to prepare all the documents that we needed. We made sure that we had all our bills, our statements, junk mail, and all the good stuff. So make sure to bring it with you. If you're not sure whether or not you need this certain document, just bring it with you. It's always better to be safe than sorry. And don't forget to photocopy every single document.
One thing I will say is when it comes to like the joint accounts, like we have a joint bank account where we save money that we're getting a house. That's like, don't touch it, leave that alone, because we both have our own separate banks. One thing when he asked us, oh, can I see where you guys are paying the bills from? And I told him it was my other account, my bank account, my personal one. He had a little pause for a second. He was asking, oh, can I see, your bank statements from that one, which I didn't bring. So I just heads up for you guys, make sure you bring your separate bank statements as well for your personal bank accounts, the one that you guys are not showing that is joint together.
So after you got all the documents down, you are set. Now it's time to mentally prepare yourself. So what I did was I researched questions like YouTube and all that. So I checked the questions, and most of the questions were regarding personal life, like date of birth, your first date, and all that. So make sure you get all the dates right, just to be sure, like the date where we first started dating, when we met, how we met, and all that, what you did on your first day, what are your common interests, and all that good stuff. So just write it down. You don't have to memorize it because you're gonna sound like a robot, but just make sure that you guys are on the same page with everything, like the dates and the events that happened.
Yeah, I think he asked us like the day we met, where did we go, what movie we said the movies. He asked what movie did we see. We said what movie we seen, and that was basically it. He didn't ask more detail.
Yeah.
That it was really simple questions of that, like those, where we met, where did we go on our first date.
You guys just gotta make sure that wherever you answer you have like a comeback answer for whatever questions that he has next. Like when he asked us what were our common interests, so we said anime and gaming and all that, and then he made sure, oh, what anime, what games do you play, and all that. So just make sure that you have an answer to everything.
Yeah, all the questions were very simple. It was
very
nothing
straightforward.
It was nothing to stress about. Like if you guys are stressing, really don't stress, because I was asking everyone that I knew at work, and they're like, don't worry about it, and it was simple and it was easy. They're really easy questions, especially if you guys are not faking it. It's gonna be fine. It's simple.
So on the day of the interview, make sure you guys are prepared. Eat some breakfast, drink some water, and bring a mask with you if it's like COVID times. And they won't let you in the building unless it's like 15 minutes prior to your interview schedule. So don't come in too early, but don't be late too. So once we got called in by our interviewer, the first thing we did was, of course, we went to the room. And you guys gotta make sure that you don't sit down right away once you get in the room, because you have to do a little oath. And even after the oath, don't sit down yet. Wait for your interviewer to tell you to sit down. It's just a sign of respect. So once we were seated, we gave our identification and all that. So he was checking everything, and while he was checking everything, my heart just wouldn't stop beating. So I was super nervous. I know he wasn't nervous. He wasn't as nervous as I was, but I was just like going crazy, and I was like holding my hand. My feet were just like, I was feeling restless because I didn't know what to expect. So yeah, and then after checking our identification, we started with the interview. So the first part of the interview was basically checking everything that we have on file, and make sure if you guys have any changes between the the time that you filed and the time of your interview, if you guys have any changes like address changes, job changes, you also have documents to support those changes.
Yeah, because when we went there, I kind of moved different jobs. She went from where she was working at to somewhere else, and he asked for the address of the new job. I kind of had no clue. I was looking up on my phone, and it really was like, it was kind of bad because it was like a 5-minute delay while we're trying to figure it out. So if you guys have a new job, just make sure you have the address for that job, because they might ask you, okay, what's the address to your new place? So make sure you have any change of addresses written down so you guys don't run into that situation.
And after all that confirming, you guys are going to be asked all these yes and no questions. You guys have already answered this when you filed, so he's just going to read it out loud and you guys answer it again. And after all those yes and no questions, which was a very long part actually, it was Rod the God's turn.
Yeah, the yes or no questions were pretty crazy. You guys, I didn't hear them, but I'm pretty sure for the other spouse, it's just like, are you a prostitute? Or are you...
You have to say that one.
Are you like work with a secret group, or are you work like, it's all this like weird stuff.
Are you an assassin?
Like, are you a criminal and all that? So it was just questions like that. It was like simple, like no questions. And mostly everything was her. I really didn't get nothing. When it was my turn, he just asked me like her name, her birthday, where we met, and then that was basically, or where I worked, my parents' name. And that was the only questions I really got. Everything was geared towards Iconic. So for the person that's, I guess it was called sponsoring the other person.
I was the petition.
So for you, you're really not going to get too many questions. It was really short. And I seen that on YouTube as well, that you really don't get asked nothing. And I really didn't get asked anything. It was all on her.
And after all those questions, those confirming and the yes and no questions, he then asked for all our joint documents, which we had prepared. Make sure you prepare all those. So we just gave them all the joint documents, and that's when the bill statement situation came up.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys have everything with you. If you guys have everything with you, then you guys should be good.
Yeah, separate, personal or joint, just bring everything. Your personals and your joints.
And after all that, he finally told us that we got approved. And the next thing he did was take my work permit away. I did not expect that. That was the ID that I gave him for identification. So he was like, oh, I'm taking this away now. But he gave me a piece of paper that did...
It was like a temporary green card, basically. But it was just a regular piece of paper that he printed out of the printer.
So he just told me to use this in case I needed to use the work permit and all that.
And he said it was going to take about 30 to 40 days for her to get her green card. So it might vary with everyone else when you would get yours. But I think I kind of got hers. When did you get yours?
I got mine in a week and a half. It was very surprising. I didn't expect that it was a week and a half.
So yeah, hers came very quick. But like we said, he said give us 30 to 40 days till you get it. So it might vary for everyone else.
So the whole experience was very easy, surprisingly. I was nervous for nothing. I was nervous for like days and weeks. Like the night before, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because the whole interview didn't seem so bad. Like everything went smoothly except for a few hiccups here and there. But other than that, it was all good. And then when we got to the car, we high-fived each other and then we drove straight home with a smile on our face.
Honestly, it was like super easy. Like, I'm gonna sit here and look at you guys and tell you, it was so easy. It was just like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. We dated here, we went there, we do this together, and we do that. Here goes our papers. And he was like, okay.
Just make sure that you guys have all your documents with you. That's the most important part. And as well, do not lie. They will catch it if you are lying. So just be honest, just be confident with your answers.
Know your dates.
Know your dates. They're gonna probably ask a lot of date questions.
Yeah, so it might vary for all you guys depending on who you get and who's doing your interview. But honestly, I was basically on the outside looking in on what she was doing right there with the interviewer, and it just seemed so easy. It was just like, you guys shouldn't be stressing out. You don't need to worry about it. Just know, like, everything I kind of told you guys to have and be ready and have on the ready is, you guys will be good. It's so easy. Don't stress out. Don't lose sleep over it. Because she was laughing at how easy it was when we got to the car.
I know. I was very surprised. So that was it for our whole interview experience. Thank you so much for checking this video out. If it did help you, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And let us know how your interviews went too. It might be able to help someone else too.
Yeah, leave it in the comments below of how your experience goes so we can check it out and we can comment back to you guys. We really appreciate you guys watching this video. There's gonna be more videos on this channel. Iconic starting her channel now. It's brand new, and we're gonna have like her life out here, you know, because she did move from Cebu to California, and we're gonna have like interviews like this where I ask her stuff like, how do you like this out here, living out here in California? And what do you miss about Cebu and all this, you know, the pros and cons and all that. And then it'll be like a mini vlog as well. Like we'll just show you what we're doing in our life now. But that's the end of the video. Everyone be safe out there. Peace.
Peace.